Today we're talking Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2. Welcome to Screens in Focus, the podcast where we talk about TV and movies. I'm Diana. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
I am excited to talk about Volume 2 with you. So much happened. I was genuinely confused about that whole Dimension X abyss, what that even was. It took me a moment to catch up. Did you understand all of that initially?
I did. So in the episode where Erica's in Mr. Clark's, his class, they're talking about
Yeah.
wormholes. And so I figured it was coming into play at some point. I didn't really know where, but I thought we would use the wormhole for time travel adventure. I was waiting for that to come into place. So what did you think?
Yeah, so I thought that the upside down was Vecna's world. I thought that was it. But realizing that it is a wormhole and having the abyss, it just raises the stakes. And then Dustin being the one to figure that all out, I had to catch up. I had to watch it again to get all the moments together. I had to figure it out. So yeah, it took me a minute to understand it because now it's so much bigger than I thought it was. So I thought that was one of the biggest things for me. I'm sure other people got it right away, but yeah, it took me a minute.
I think it's a surprise that there's a third part to it. I don't think I realized that where Vecna was holding the kids wasn't in the upside down. That's a huge at the end, I think. But I thought the sets were creepy, just the look and the feel of it. And I was screaming internally, please don't, come on, Nancy, just don't do it. I know you have no idea why you shouldn't be doing this, but please don't do it. And actually, I thought, do you know what the Philadelphia experiment was? Have you ever heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I don't know the details of it.
Yeah, so in 1943, and this is all allegedly, so don't come and sue us or anything, but the Navy was attempting to make a ship invisible by using electromagnetic
yes.
fields. And apparently, this alleged experiment caused a lot of traumas, psychological, there's physical. Some of the sailors are alleged to have been stuck in between the ship, when the ship did whatever it was doing. If they were in there and they were, and that was my first thought. I was shocked that they went with Chernobyl instead of Philadelphia experiment, but that was cool.
Wait, what made you think of that? Because I want to know what made you think of that, because I thought I read something about the play, and I don't know that much about the play, but they talked about how they wanted to make invisible ships so that they could fight wars with other people and attack them. So I think it's interesting that came to your mind when that I read was somehow a possibility in what we might see with the military and so forth.
When Nancy and I think everybody, I don't know if it was just the Nancy and Jonathan team, when they were walking around the lab, there were men half in the walls, the floor. Yeah.
I see. Ooh, okay. Yes, I know where your mind is going now and why that reminded you of it. Yeah, I was trying to think of what made you think of that. Oh my gosh. See, that was probably a key, an Easter egg of sorts, right? Because they're giving us things, but we don't know them yet, right? We're not aware of them. So if you don't know the Philadelphia experiment, then that would make sense. And I didn't recall it. That's why it didn't. I'm also thinking, why are these people like this? Why are they showing that? But I love it, Sam. That is so awesome. Okay. So what were some jaw-dropping moments for you in this volume?
So I think I really liked how Karen still is, I don't know, I just liked her blowing up the demo dogs. I feel she's become a mama bear who will do anything to protect her kids. And I like that. And I think it's important that the kids are involving adults now because it's gotten super serious. And yeah, they've involved some other adults, but they've involved Mr. Clark, but he's never really truly been in on the inside. So he's just helping them without really knowing what these kids are
Yeah.
doing. And I think it'll really help them because like adults they have a different way of thinking. And we got to see Mr. Clark do his thing in real time. And they're able to find like our team in the upside down. But Karen being in the hospital bed made me think, has anyone looked at Ted? How's Ted doing? We're very concerned about what's happening with Karen, and we should be. But I'd like to know that Ted's like alive, I guess, just for the kids. I think it's on the funnier side that we haven't really mentioned Ted since.
It's funny. I went and watched the very first episode again of the whole series, season 1, episode 1. Ted was so young. It's so funny that I know all the kids have aged, but most of the adults, they've aged a little bit. Joyce and Hopper, we could see the difference, but it was interesting to go back to see Ted to look different also. So I just had to bring that up about Ted. But yes, I wondered about him, how they hadn't shown him. And so that was interesting. Yeah.
And I think another, like I may have actually gasped out loud was as Holly is plummeting from the abyss and she
Oh,
kind of is suspended in like space or whatever, and he's like stealing her back. And it's like heartbreaking because I think he's holding her there just to like torture everybody. I think he was like, let me make sure everyone can see her. And then he like brings her back up. And it's like she's so close to being safe with her family and just I was like so heartbroken about that.
yeah, that moment and watching Nancy's face, we have a little bit of a flashback of what Nancy's experience was with it and explaining it. I was kind of on the edge of my seat because she looked like something bad. Of course it is. It's her little sister. It is something bad. But yeah, that was a moment for sure. I think the jaw-dropping moments for me was the Dimension X Abyss realization. That just really, wow, this is so much bigger than I thought it would be. And I love that it was Dustin who figures it all out. I thought that was so cool. And it was scary because he was trying to radio Nancy and Jonathan and getting them to stop. And I thought that was a huge moment. Like I was in it. I was scared for them. I thought, oh my gosh, is he going to get there? What's going to happen if he doesn't? And if Nancy is able to accomplish what her mission was at the moment. I thought that was a really intense moment. Jonathan and Nancy, I know we're going to probably talk about it a little bit more, but that moment, I was confused. I'm like, wait, what just happened? I had to go look it up because I'm like, what does this mean? And then Will coming out. I thought that was a really big moment for his character. And again, we'll probably talk about it a little bit more, but just those were the moments that really stuck out to me in this volume. So let's go through the characters. And a lot of them I feel like are duos because we're heading into the finale, they have to give us what's happening between each of these characters. So I think that's a good way for us to go through it and give our take on what we see and what we hope maybe for them. I don't know. We'll see where this conversation takes us. All right. What do you think about 11 and Hopper?
I think they are a lot more alike than they both realize. Like I know they had the joke in the beginning that they're both like stubborn punk asses, but without even blinking, Elle's, yeah, no, cool. I'll do a suicide mission with my sister and not tell my dad, even though I just got really mad at him about doing the same things. And I think and when I think about that makes me so sad because that's such an incredibly dark thing to think about as a teenager, and a show is all that. But
Yeah.
I think I liked how even though they did have like fights and they weren't always seeing eye to eye, they're they're able to recommit to working together as the threat as everything comes to a head. And I feel bad, I think, for Hopper because he can't do anything to save another daughter of his if wants the fight because he knows she's going to be off doing it. And that's heartbreaking because he probably feels equally as powerless. He's going to blame himself because he did with his daughter. And I just really do like their relationship, though. It's very much like father-daughter there. It's very sweet.
So in thinking about 11 and Hopper, I have father daughter, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So it's the same thing that you caught on because, yeah, she gets mad at him for she's doing exactly what she got mad at him for, having a plan and trying to follow through and save everybody and thinking you know what the right thing to do is without consulting one of the most important people in your life. So, yeah, I felt that too. Okay, 11 and 8.
I had conflicting feelings about them. I thought the episode, although when we first watched like the where she's introduced back in what season 3, 2, 2 or 3, something like that, I wasn't a fan. And then I don't know. And then on a rewatch, I wasn't as like harsh on it. So when she reappeared, I had like more positive thoughts about her, but I don't trust her. And I do think she challenges Elle to face the grim reality that stopping, like, if they're going to stop Vecna, that might mean that one or both of them might have to stay behind in the Upside Down. And I do think they combine their powers strategically, and Callie's blunt talk forces Elle to consider sacrifice and the hard choices that she'll have to make. And I feel like she does that for our group. Like, she tells Mike, this is not, because he's like, no, it'll be fine, everything will be good, or we'll get through it. And it's not like one of your campaigns. And I think that Callie's kind of doing that for her. So yeah, I don't know what to expect, and I don't know. I don't trust Callie though.
I have not convinced this is all good and something is off. That's my gut reaction, which is similar to your gut reaction. So, yeah. And Hopper doesn't trust her either. Like, he doesn't feel it. I don't feel it. You don't feel it. I'm sure everybody else doesn't feel it. There's something. I don't know what it is. Now, is she just, really believes this and that's why we don't trust it because we don't want 11 to jeopardize herself? Or is there something else that she's not sharing with us? So I'm not sure what that is, but it isn't feeling right. 11 and Mike, you did just say how she tells him about the campaign, and I do love that he tells her, hey, after this is all over, we can go off and do our own thing and
with at least one waterfall
and get away from all this. Yeah, one waterfall. Exactly. Gosh, you know what? I have to be honest about that. I did get scared for 11. Like, now I'm like, oh, whoa. What does this mean? Is she going to have to sacrifice herself for the group somehow?
I don't know. Yeah, I thought Mike, every scene that they've had has been sweet. It's not necessarily like they seem to be like good in their relationship. There's no like they're just together, and I do think they are sweet. And I actually really do like who Mike is becoming. Like, he's really sweet with his sister Holly, and he was always like a shit before. He's very quick and everything, but he's also a really good brother. Like, he and Nancy have a lot of sweet scenes, and they're a lot alike, and I don't know. I like who Mike is becoming.
Yeah, I've always liked Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
Max and Holly. What's your reaction to them?
I loved how like Max was able to guide Holly through not the upside down, but I guess like the Mr. Watson world, and keeping her calm. And even though she's probably terrified herself, she's keeping it cool on the surface. And what I really loved was how she keeps reminding Holly that none of this is her fault. It's not her fault that the Demogorgon took her mom. It's not her fault that Vecna had Max by the throat. It's not her fault that the kids are taken, like anything. And I think it just she helps Holly to realize her own strength. And it's really nice to see Max step into a protective and leadership role, because she joined the group late, but I've always liked her. And I think she was like, not that she wasn't her own character, but she was always involved with, like, she was around, or her brother was like in the story, and it was about like her dealing with him, and it wasn't ever really about her. And so I think like her time with Holly is like, it's showing who Max really is. And she's a real sweetheart.
She is. I have for Max and Holly big sister vibe. So I love that relationship between those two. Okay, Dustin and Steve.
I found annoying. I'm not a Dustin person. I think these couple of eps have just been driving me bonkers because I don't think I realized it was over. He was like not wanting to show his grief. So I guess I understand that now. But at the same time, it just felt like he was being like a jerk. Um, but when he admits to Steve how scared he is of losing him, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, oh, that's why. And I don't really like their pact. I don't want them to you die, I die. That makes me sad because I
Oh,
don't want them to sacrifice each other.
yeah.
But I do think that's also sweet. And they're like Steve's like a big brother to Dustin, which is sweet.
Yeah. I have for Dustin and Steve, heartbreaking and heartwarming. And I am a Dustin fan. I didn't know I was last season between the relationship between him and Eddie. And now, but of course, Dustin and Steve were friends first, but I think last year's when I really noticed the type of person Dustin was and then how smart he was. And then when him singing with Susie and which
That
I
got
brought
Billy
up
killed.
Susie. I'm like and then just this season, Dustin has really started to rank up for me as a character that I really do enjoy seeing. Wait, what do you mean he got Billy killed? What are you referring to exactly?
I do think that if his girlfriend hadn't made him sing that dumb song, they could have gotten to Billy a lot quicker and they might have been able to save him. But because she made him
She
sing
wasn't
that
gonna.
stupid song,
Yeah.
she didn't have to do that's childish. They are children, but I feel like he could have
Yeah.
explained a little bit more about the like danger or the like yeah,
I
sure, I'll sing the
see.
song
Yeah.
later,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, ugh. Yeah, whatever happened to Susie? They haven't brought her up since
I
like
know.
that season.
Susie's taking care of Ted, apparently. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Sorry. All right. Jonathan and Nancy.
I think for right off the bat, I think it made me sad, but then I think it makes sense at the same time. Over the last couple of seasons, they've grown into different people that can still be friends, but they're not wanting the same things. And I think it makes me sad because you can clearly see how much they do like there's a lot of love there between them. But once they admit their true feelings, you can understand why. But it's nice that they can still work together like in a seamless fashion to try and figure out like how to get out of there. But it did make me sad.
I know. It made me sad. I thought it was tough. And that's why I had to go look it up because I'm like, wait a minute. What are you talking about? I don't understand. And I agree. It's bittersweet because you want them to be together, but you know that they're young and they need to do their own thing. So it makes sense. But again, I was like, are you just not getting married or are you really breaking up? I'm like, there's a difference. All right. What about Will and Joyce?
Oh, I don't even know. It's just so heartwarming because he's officially come out and he started with his mom and like in Mike, but I mean he started to tell her first and then he's interrupted by Mike. And I think starting there is a nice place. And I think all season his mom has struggled with accepting and trusting his role in this fight. And I think allowing him to make his own decisions the last couple of maybe like an episode or two, I think that's the little like bump that he needed to like allow him to step into who he actually is and tell people and be confident about that. Because I do think with all the support of his friends, he'll be able to fully embrace his hive mind abilities and he'll be stronger than ever because now he has the support of his family and his team. And that scene where they're all hugging him, I don't know that I wasn't crying. Like it was just lovely and just wonderful and for him.
Yeah, me too. I think that their relationship is 100% parent-child relationship. I think that both of them think that they failed and neither of them failed. I don't know. I just think it really reflects what it's like to be a parent and to be a child, right? You just want to measure up. And then I love how much she initially is, I underestimated you. Vecna underestimated you, and we're going to do this. And then he does it. And then she's like guilt ridden because she's, damn, I put my child at risk here. Why did I do that? And I feel like I'm always doing everything wrong. And I love that Hoppers were parents. We never do anything right. And it's so true. As a parent, you make the best decisions you can. You think you're doing right, but yeah, it always comes to slap you in the face. You did it wrong, mom, dad, whatever it might be. But yeah, it's good because no matter what, they're there for each other, and she's there for him to support him no matter what happens. And that group hug, she was, of course, initially being his mom, the first one to say, hey, I am not leaving. I'm always going to be here for you. All right. So Lucas and others, what do you have? What do you have for us in that reaction to
Just
them?
kind of, I think, just him with like others, just all people. I loved how Lucas has stayed fiercely loyal to his friends and to Max. He could have leaned into his popularity and he doesn't. Like he does, but doesn't allow it to change him. Like he's still the guy who probably would play like D&D with his friends. He still protects them. He carries Max's unconscious body towards trying to get to safety. And he's right there when she wakes up. And that's such like a got to make her feel like not good, but good. I don't know, like that's like another word for it, like warm maybe. And oh,
Yeah.
that's an incredible bond that she didn't need the music after all, which is upsetting because it helped the demo dogs were able to find them. He's no, I got to keep the music on because thank God for Karen. But he's also just like like he's grown a lot like over the years, and he's not like he didn't want Max to join at all, and now she's his favorite person probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grown from like the comic relief and like a goofball to a really dependable protector. I'd be happy to have him in my corner any day.
I absolutely love their relationship. I think it's such love. It feels so good. He's just so committed to her. And yeah, like you said, that self-realization, because sometimes you don't know, you think you need something, and then all of a sudden it clicks for you. And shoot, I didn't really need that music. She really did at the time. But I think what she's trying to say is it's ultimately just him that she needed, because he was the one playing it for her. But that was the connection to him and to that world. And yeah, and just him carrying her. We had wondered when that scene was going to happen, and we see him carrying her with the boom box and then kicking the demo dog in the face as the elevator closes. It was just a really cool moment, and I love that he's just been there for her and always had her back, has her hand, and it's just very cool. And her being able to see him, yeah, I just love it. All right. So much happened to these characters, but there are some characters that I feel were highlighted in this volume 2. So I want to know who stuck out to you and give me your thoughts on them.
So I have been a fan of Nancy for a season or two now. I think in the beginning she's just like a sister of Mike, and she's smart but nerdy and quiet, doesn't really have a lot of friends. Like she just has Barb. And then she gets with Steve, and that's tumultuous and doesn't end well. And then she gets with Jonathan, and slowly throughout like the show, she starts to become like a badass. Like she's good with guns, she's brave, she's really smart in a lot of other ways. It's not just like school smart. And I think I've really loved just watching her like figure out who she is and what she wants. And it's not Jonathan anymore, and it's not Steve. She told him that, and I do believe that. I don't think they'll try and put them back together, and I hope they don't. And I just want Nancy to figure out, like, I want her to figure out who she is going to become and what kind of job, if she survives. That's the other thing too, is she may not survive this, and that'll really make me sad.
I think she will, but I don't know. Anybody it could happen to anybody, really.
Yeah. And I think she's a good example for like her sister too, because we're not put in a box either. Like you can do whatever you want. Like if you look back in like the first couple of seasons, she was mousy. Yeah, she'd defend herself, but she wasn't who she is now. And I think that's a lot what like Holly can look up to, I think.
I like Nancy a lot too. I think, yeah, she's so strong. And yeah, what is this with all the know-how with the guns and everything? That's so cool. Or just her stance in not being afraid. Like she's willing to defend herself and defend other people. And it's interesting because Holly, being her sister, is similar to her. All three, these Wheelers have something. Is it
It's
from
from
Karen?
Karen.
Yeah, because man, they're strong people. They're strong kids. So I love seeing that. We talked already about Dustin, but I did want to bring him up again because I did tell you he has really risen up as a character that I appreciate so much. And in the beginning, I just thought he was just, comedic relief a little bit. A kid that's smart. I just didn't really think that much of him. And I think in these last 2 seasons, we got to really see his heart and how loyal and what a friend and how much that means to him between the relationship he had with Steve, the friendship, and the relationship he had with Eddie. And we get to see his grief and how that impacts him. And we see that he was grieving because you and I had talked about earlier in volume 1, you kept saying, why is he being like this? And I'm like, because he's grieving. And yes, we know now for sure, which is what I thought. He is truly grieving. It's hard to lose somebody. You have a friend. And the fact that when Steve was poking at him and saying, because he's all, oh, he saved us all. He didn't save you. He didn't save any of us. He just got himself killed. Oh my gosh. When he went after Steve, and of course, Steve was trying to hold him back because Steve wasn't fighting against him because he's older and he's not going to do that. And so I really appreciated that Steve understood that and was not quite as emotional. He was in a way because he was like poking at him. But I do like that Steve was, okay, you're going to hurt yourself. Stop this. And it was like, I was in tears. I was in tears in that part because I could feel the grief that Dustin was having. And I felt it was so emotional. It was so physical. And it was just all about loss. There was no logic in there. And then at that point, Steve walks away and that just hurts more than the punches. But I do like that it comes full circle for them and that they are able to talk again later and tell each other how much they mean to one another and how when he clutches onto him and says, I don't want you to die. I can't do this again. I can't do this again. And that ladder fell, showing you that Steve would have probably died right then and there. And that's just that whole moment. It really impacted me. And I loved seeing the growth and seeing his journey, seeing Justin's journey and what a friend he is and how much he carries his heart on his sleeve when it comes to his friends. All right. Who else stuck out to you?
I really liked Holly. Speaking of the Wheeler women, I thought she goes from just like a regular kid and probably she feels she like gets in trouble for having an imaginary friend. And I think that makes her feel like, I don't know, like weird, which when you're in school, being weird is not a good thing. And I think Mr. Watson like monopolized on that for all the kids, maybe. I don't know. But I really liked how she's just brave. Like she's in the world with Mr. Watson and she gets this like note, like she hears like a knock on the door and it's pretty aggressive. And if I'm hearing about monsters in this world and then all of a sudden I hear some knocking, I don't know that I'm gonna go explore. I'm not gonna go outside, that's for sure. I liked how she immediately knew to trust Max. Like she trusts her instincts, which is because she does have some good instincts. She's also kind. Like because dipshit Derek is brought up and she's like, well, I don't want him to be killed by the monster, so I guess you can bring him in. And for a kid to have like, he's her bully. That's incredibly smart of her, or just kind and smart of her to be like, no, he can come in. And then like I just love how quick she is to have a plan. Like she immediately, like her and Max are like trying to escape and she immediately tells Derek to like create like a diversion. It doesn't work out, but she is like quick about that. I just really liked her just becoming Holly the heroic.
Yeah. I think there's been so much growth in her. And like I had said, the Wheelers are just some badass kids, especially just for being so young and just following her instincts, like you said. And I love that Max, who is who I want to bring up as someone who really stood out to me. I love the relationship between Holly and Max. And I think that Max has had such growth over the entire series. And it's interesting because I see how Max was when we first met her. And wasn't she on a skateboard, if I remember correctly? I don't know. I think it was her skateboard that she was on. And just,
I think so.
she felt a little bit like a tomboy. And then here she got together with this group of guys and it just fit in so well. And just in her and 11, their relationship. And I just seen so much growth. And here now she is the mentor. She's the leader and she's the big sister. And to be able to survive Vecna's memories and mine, maybe you might say, oh, you have to one way or another, but no, you don't. She could have just cowered and just withered away and she didn't, right? She's like always trying to figure out how she's probably going to get back and learning things along the way. So I think she's very resilient. And I also love the speech that she gave Holly, and a lot of people online are, oh my God, you guys just need to run. Stop giving the speech. And I'm thinking, no, this was important. This was so pivotal to Holly and what Holly needed and what the series is about, and about these relationships and friendships and mentorship and having each other's back and just not being alone and surviving and all of that. So I feel like those people are missing the point. And she made Holly believe in herself. And she said, you saved me. I just think that this relationship is great. And I love how they showcased it between these two young ladies. So I appreciate that.
I saw people online also being like they weren't in any danger because where they had come out of was where Vecna wouldn't go in. So it wasn't like he probably could have, I don't know, but I think it was fine. Because like you said, it wasn't about them. It was about Holly being able to believe in herself and Max to be the one to get her there.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was very lovely and just, so heartfelt.
Yeah. And watching them both run was I just liked that moment. I thought it was a cool moment. All right. I have 3 rapid fire questions for you, Sam. I'm going to give you a question. You give me your answer, and then I will do the same. Okay. Who broke your heart?
Holly getting pulled back into the abyss. She was so close to being saved, and Vecna just ripped her away. Not heartbreaking, but creepy. I don't like how he turned the children against her. They were just like, one of us. But I like
that one kid called her a bitch.
I know.
I'm like, what? Oh my gosh.
Stupid.
Oh, God.
I do like how, like, in the moment, though, she makes a plan. She goes over, grabs her boombox and herself. So she's still becoming Holly the heroic, I think. Yeah. What broke your heart? Or who broke your heart?
This one was a little bit hard, but then easy. And I'm going to say Jonathan's reaction to Will. That moved me so much. I think it broke my heart in a good way. I just thought it was the sweetest moment. I felt it was so genuine and I loved seeing it. I just thought it was so honest.
Do you think that he knew that Will was like queer or gay before? Because of Joyce?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, what about Joyce?
You wanted to talk about a comment that she had made.
Yeah. So, yes, I totally know that Jonathan knew because when they were on the road and they were putting at the pizza place, there was different moments in season 4 that we saw Jonathan acknowledge that he knew that Will cared for Mike. And so I totally think he knew. He was just so proud of his brother for coming out. I think that's what it was, is, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. And that's what really warmed my heart. And the thing I wanted to bring up about Joyce was in season 1, episode 1, I did not remember this because sometimes you see something and it doesn't play a part in anything because it's not at that moment. But In season 1, episode 1, Joyce tells Hopper that Lonnie, or what was her husband's name or whatever,
It was Lonnie.
Lonnie called her son names and thinks that he's gay because they're trying to find him. And Hopper says, basically, is there anything else? Do you think he's with Lonnie or whatever? And then Joyce shares that information. So that was already there in season 1, episode 1, and I didn't even recall it or remember it until I watched it again to know it. So Joyce knew, and so did Jonathan. It's just that they were just waiting for his time to share it with them. And of course, those were the two to have the initial reaction. It's your family. And I think friends are usually going to have your back one way or another, but it's very important to have your family because they're going to be with you forever. So I just loved seeing their reaction. All right. Who surprised you the most?
I think Dr. K, when we found out that they're trying to use Callie's blood to try and recreate the program that like Papa had made. I assumed that she was using her powers to hide somebody or something, or to, I don't know what. So I was shocked whenever there was that whole montage of her like running by all the pregnant people. And that's heartbreaking and so sad and so messed up. So messed up.
All right. Side note, that was supposed to probably be one of our big moments, right? That we learned in this because that was so huge with realizing just all of that. That, yeah, they were using her blood and that the people were dying and it was like body after body. It was like, holy crap. Dr. K is, truly trying to get more Henrys or get more 11s and then realizing that 11 is the key and they want her so that they could make these possible weapons or to have them more of them so that they can do with them what they need to do with them. Yeah, that was huge and revealing. And I'm sorry we didn't bring that up sooner. So I'm glad you brought it up now because that was a huge moment. All right, who surprised me the most? Mrs. Wheeler for getting out of her bed. I did not expect that. When she popped up, I'm like, wait, who is that? I forgot that she was in the hospital. And so her getting out of the bed and taking action, I just loved it. And I'm sorry, I have to bring up Robin's girlfriend. What is her name again? Do you remember her name? The
Her name's
fact that
Vicki.
she thought Vicki. I'm sorry, this is another side note. But the fact that she thinks that Robin is a druggie and doesn't understand all of this, I'm like, what? Robin didn't shed any light of this with you? That was pretty funny, too.
I feel like you should always tell your partner things like that. But if we're freshly dating and we've not really been on like dates too much, I don't know if I'm going to come out and be like, so there's this upside down. Them explaining the upside down to people. Mrs. Wheeler being like, so Holly's underneath the plates?
The plates?
Like, well, not really.
Yeah, the steel plates. Yeah.
That was hilarious.
So, how Mike explains to her, Mom, this group saved a lot of people. We can get Holly back, Mom. Just you go take care of yourself. We got this. We got this.
Yeah. And I like Vicki too. She seems like a good egg. Like she does handle all of that. I don't know if she's had a freak out or not, but like she's handled everything that we've seen pretty well, like not freaking out or just like she's taking it in stride.
Yeah. All right. What are you still thinking about hours later?
Will being able to tap back into the hive mind and him being able to save Max and Holly. I did feel bad, though, in the process of the demo Gorgon, I think, getting the Frankenstein's monster treatment of being, like, completely zapped again. I know it's dead, but is it? And I know it's a monster, but I didn't ask for it. And I don't know. I just didn't like it. Just a side note. But I couldn't stop thinking about that.
I was afraid.
Yeah. I thought they're way too close to it. It's going to come back to life. Like, you're going to get killed.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Okay, so the thing that kept coming to my mind was Jonathan and Nancy because I didn't know the answer. And I'm like, wait, what is happening? So I had to go look it up. And I saw that the Duffer Brothers said, yeah, they're definitely broken up because they felt like, especially Nancy, needed to find herself and needed to not be with somebody, and she's just not ready for that. And so I think what was confusing was because they still were showing how much they loved each other. And he said, I loved you, or I love you. And I'm like, what? And then I understood when he said, oh, this is an unproposal, but I didn't again, he didn't say, we shouldn't be together. It was just not them getting married. So I thought they were just not getting married. I didn't think that they were actually like breaking up, because of course they get up, they hug each other, and then they're fighting, or they're figuring their way out, and they embrace several times throughout that time. And then I can't help but think about their real life relationship too, thinking, wait, they better not break up in real life. They're talking about the shared trauma that they have of that's what connects them together. And that is what connects some people, right? You have a shared moment, trauma, relation, whatever it might be, and you just cling to that. Yeah. Do I think they're ready for marriage? No way. Maybe they'll go apart and come back together. Who's to say? I don't know. But of course, she says Steve's not her answer either. He wants 6 kids. So I think she just wants time to find herself. And I like that for her. So,
yeah.
Also, the scale of this New World Abyss has me worried. And also, I do want to mention Will coming out in the 80s. I've also heard people having, I swear to God, so many people have so many reactions to stuff like that. But I want to say that this is the 80s, okay? So it is not 2025. So to come out in the 80s is and was huge. It was big. It was hard. It was not, a lot of people didn't do it. They kept it a secret. They still do now. Now they still do currently. Think about this that long ago. So I think that the way that they explained it, the way that the scene played out, I think that was the right way to do it. And for me, it worked, and I believed it, and I appreciated it.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why Will's able to come out is because his family and his friends are incredible, and he feels very much like safe there, I think. And I know, well, I don't know, but the outside world might treat him very differently, but he knows he's got a really good team behind him and great friends, and his mom's amazing, and he'll find his person.
Exactly. Also, that was the 2 things. One was, okay, what's Mike's reaction? Does Mike realize he's the person? But I love that Will says it isn't about that person. I thought it was, and it's not. It was about me. And I thought, ooh, that was a cool insight. But, wait, you just said something and it made me think, it was Vecna. He didn't want Vecna was using that as a tool or manipulation, whatever it was, to say, hey, look, this is showing him like, look, this is how they're going to treat you. They're going to hate you, or they're going to turn away from you, or they're whatever. And he's, you know what, I have to face this. So this isn't something that holds me back. So I think that helped him also. But yeah, it was really great to see everybody's reaction. All right. What are your theories, your thoughts, your hopes, any lingering feelings that you want to get out?
So I hope that we learn why Vecna, or Henry Creel, was in that cave and why he's afraid of it. I do think in the scene where he's in the cave and he's going after like the scientist guy, I think the guy does, like, when he shoots him, I'm pretty sure his wound heals like in his hand. So maybe he's already got his powers a little bit. But I'm very curious about what happened out in like the desert. My thoughts, I think I really want Dr. K to be Papa's relative in some way. I think the hair is too, it's very much alike. And I don't know why else she'd really care about like Elle, because why does she want Elle?
For her blood.
So really I'm sorry?
For her blood.
For her blood,
She
yeah,
wants her
but
blood.
but where'd
You
she
think
get the
there's
idea
something
from?
else?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I think there's something else, and I just want to know why. And I don't really want this, but I feel like people are gonna have to die, and I'm really worried that it might be Elle, Callie, and Will, because I don't know, they've all got the powers to stop him, and maybe it might be necessary. Like maybe Will take over like Vecna to stop him from being able to move, Callie will project something so Vecna thinks he's winning, and then Elle will use her powers to destroy him or to detonate the bomb, but she has to be near him to do it. I don't know. I'm just very nervous that those three are going to die. I hope it doesn't happen, but I think it's gonna.
Sad.
I know.
You made me sad now. I am afraid for 11 for sure. I don't know if I think Will, that would be, if Will died, that would be, I don't even know the word, but just because
Heartbreaking.
heartbreaking because he survived initially and then to go through all of this. And mind you, I do not want 11 to die at all. That would be so horrible. But I guess I feel because of her powers that maybe she almost might sacrifice and save everybody. I don't want her to, but I'm just thinking if you just pick somebody else, it might not make sense. So to me, like Lucas feels very safe. He might not be, but in just looking at the characters, I'm thinking, okay, Lucas is safe. But if you look at 11, it's okay. 11 could die because she just used her damn powers to save everybody. I think different people have different degrees of possibly dying or not, and that's hard. Do I think 8 might die? Yeah, I think she might because she's not a primary character when it could be her. Could it be Hopper? Yeah, he could do it to sacrifice saving the kids. So there are certain people that you're like, okay, I don't want this to happen. I could possibly see it. I just want to know I know Vecna wants to control everything. I know that's his plan, but how is he going to, what is his plan about doing it? I've heard that there's 12 kids. There's 12 hours on that clock. There's something about that clock. It's always ticking. What does that mean? Does that mean something? Yeah. And I always wonder just all of it, how he's up in that area where he's got the tentacles suction to him and they're all suction to the kids. I just want to know a little bit more about all of that. And just where this all leads to. But I really think.
Do you think? Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, can anyone really survive this alone? And I don't think so. I think everybody needs somebody.
Do you think we'll see any kind of time travel or anything? Like you said something about the clock made me think, I don't know. Like I pictured like the clock like starting to like go backwards or something. And then the wormhole can do something with time travel. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be interesting. We only have 2 hours like left.
I know so much could happen. What's going to happen in these 2 hours? We all know they're setting up for something happening. They're all in that truck. Oh, wait, one thing that I have to bring up that made me laugh was when Erica goes to, what's the science teacher's name again?
Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark. She goes to Mr. Clark and I know it's 5 a.m., blah, 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 blah. And then he says, it's 5 a.m. And then Murray's all, she already said that. She already led with that. And then she's all the librarian. Erica's all the librarian. And then
Snuck 'em.
Murray's like, does she shush you?
Murray, we talked about him at all.
I'm like, what did you just say? Does she shush you when you get too loud? Oh my God. I was like dying. It was hilarious. So, yeah, Murray for comic relief. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, sorry. I had to bring up that last moment with him. All right. Are we good for this? I don't even know. There's so much more we could talk about, but I think we're good for now. I think so.
I think so.
I'm sure there's so much more. I hope we've covered everything that we wanted to. Yeah, I just think that wormhole, the upside down being the wormhole was so crazy how that's not it. It's just a link to the abyss. That was such a huge thing. Yeah, we'll just see where all of this goes, what's in that case, what happened to Henry in that area. What do you want to say?
Question. So I guess I was thinking about how when Holly goes from the abyss to the upside down, she falls down because I guess like gravity still works in the upside down. Because I started to think like, why wouldn't they, when they come forward, why wouldn't they like fall to the sky? But I guess it's I don't know. I just thought it was, it's probably just because the gravity is the same as it is on Earth, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll see on December 31st. We'll see where this goes. Okay, friends out there, let us know what you think, your thoughts, your theories, your favorite moments. We want to hear from you. You can leave us a comment if you're watching us, or if you're listening to us, you can go to screensinfocus.com, get to our website, go to our social media, and leave us a comment there. Or you can even call us if you just want to leave us a message. We would love that. You can reach us at 669-223-8542. That phone number is also in our show notes. And yeah, because we want to hear what you have to say. And okay, that's a wrap up of Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2. So come back for the finale. Come back for it and we'll break it down. But we have TV and movie recommendations for you. So Sam, please let me know, what have you been watching?
So I'm watching a ton right now. It's the holidays and, whatever. I'm watching Emily in Paris, which just debuted its 5th season on Netflix. The Great British Baking Show does 2 holiday episodes, one for Christmas and one for New Year's. Would watch the Christmas one. It was really funny and just always heartwarming, as that show typically is. I've been watching the Sean Combs documentary. It's on Netflix. It has 4 eps out. They're each over an hour, and it's fascinating and upsetting, and highly recommend watching that one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah,
Sometimes I try to stay away from certain things, but I don't know. Since you're telling me to watch it, maybe I will.
Yeah, it's just fascinating how everything got started, from just with Bad Boy Records, Uptown Records, the Biggie and Tupac of it all, just him, and they could probably do, I would watch 5 more episodes, I think, because it's just, that whole world is just bonkers, and he's nuts and a dork. I want to say that he's a dork, and I hope he hears it. Because he is. He wants to be liked so badly by the cool kids, and he's just not a cool kid. Me, Holmes, get over it.
Yeah.
But then I'm also watching Ghosts, it's season 5. It's on Paramount Plus. And then Fallout came back like last week, and it's season 2 on Prime. And that has been so entertaining and so much fun. And then for movies, we watched on Christmas Eve, we watched The Running Man, like the new one with Glenn Powell. It was rentable on Fandango. And that was a joy. So much fun. Was ridiculous. But I highly recommend, if you just want to turn your brain off for like 2 hours or something and just have a good time. And then because of it, Welcome to Derry, like the TV show on HBO, my husband and I watched it chapter 1 like last week, and that's on HBO Max. And I'd forgotten how good that movie was. We are going to have to watch chapter 2, which is a little less good, but still enjoyable.
Awesome. I too watched Fallout season 2 and Emily in Paris. Emily in Paris, I think I watched a couple episodes so far, and Fallout, I've watched the first episode. I don't know why, but both of them didn't grip me like they should. And I don't know if I was in a mode where I wasn't ready for it. So I'm really curious what your take is on both of those this season.
So Emily in Paris, we'll start there. I think I like it. I genuinely do, but it's not one I watch I don't know, I'm not trying to insult the show, but it has a lot of issues. There's a lot of things that just don't make any sense about a lot of things in the show. I feel like she lives in a tiny ass apartment with all of these clothes. Where does she put them? Why do her and Mindy live in the same apartment? They could probably afford their own. But I did have issues with her being in Rome. There's some stuff that goes on. She ends up going back to Paris. Some other stuff goes on. And by the end of it, I was like, I enjoyed it, but I don't know. Like,
did you watch the whole season?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? See, I've only seen a couple episodes. I think for me personally, I think I'm there for kind of the romance of it. And that was my initial draw. But I realized that there has to be issues and they break up or go to different places. But I don't know. It's just been okay. I was just curious to get your take on it.
I think there are ways to have drama without having drama in the relationships. I think that's a cheap thing. When it's used every season, she has a new boyfriend and it doesn't work out, but she's Gabrielle.
No.
Then she doesn't. And then it's like all this stuff. And A
I
bunch of
agree.
drama with the fashion houses and Paris itself.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I
I agree. That's what it should be. And with Fallout 2, I've only seen one episode, and I'm not saying I'm out or anything. I'm just saying the first one didn't suck me back in yet. So
It was slow.
I think I have to give it more of a shot. Oh, it was. Okay. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to know. Okay.
like I feel like it needed to explain some things because it's been off for like a year or so. But episode 2, it like picks up, and there's a lot more that happens in episode 2. I'd recommend. Yeah, I'd stick with it if you don't enjoy it, then don't play it.
No, I'm going to give it I'm going to try. I'm going to try to keep going. So we'll see where that goes. Okay. I do want to share with you a couple of movies. The first one I just went and saw yesterday, and it's Song Sung Blue. I wanted to see this. It is with Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. It's probably one of my favorite movies of the year. It was so emotional for me. I cried so many times. Partially because it does have some heartwarming and some tragic moments, but also there was just moments in here that really just struck me because it's about two people who love music, who love performing, and who love each other. And it, the fact that Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson are the ones portraying these roles that are is a true life story is such a treat for us because they really are these characters. They really can embody it. And it just goes to show you what phenomenal actors they are and how well they can sing, because the fact that they were so good at what they do is just, I can't even say enough good stuff about it. It moved me so much. It's so good. So check that out. I also saw One Battle After Another. I think this is on HBO Max.
Mhm.
I thought it was really good. At first, I'm like, my mouth's open. I'm like, what is happening? I don't understand. But after about half an hour, I'm like, oh, now I'm in it with it. Leonardo DiCaprio is so good in it. Like you would say, this movie is bonkers. This movie is bonkers, but in a good way. It's done so well. It takes you for a ride, and Benicio del Toro is in it. And I love how calm, cool, and collected he is, but it makes him so funny being that way. He's just control. It's a really well done movie. I didn't know why it got rated so high because I'm like, is this a comedy? Is this not a comedy?
Mhm.
But it's done really well. Oh my gosh. And Sean Penn, whoa, okay. Just if you just want to go see fantastic performances, you should check it out because they are really good at their craft. I also went and saw The Housemaid. This is with Amanda Seyfried and Sydney Sweeney. I would say wait till it comes out to watch it. But in saying that, because it's just not worth the price to go watch it for me. But I was interested, and there are a lot of twists and turns, and it was very watchable. So I liked it, but not enough. I wouldn't say go spend money. If you're already spending money on streaming, might as well wait and watch it there. And then also on streaming on Apple TV Plus, I watched F1 with Brad Pitt, and it was well done. Watching this racing world was really well done. So if you're looking for a good movie to watch, then check that one out. All right. That's what I have for you. Thank you, Sam, for all of your Stranger Things insight and conversation. I was looking forward to this so much. And thank you so much for the conversation today.
Thank you as always for having me. I know I say that a lot, but it truly is a highlight of my week. Like I watch the shows and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell Diana about that. Or I'm like, I wonder what Diana's going to think about that or that. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I do the same. I'm like, I can't wait to talk about this with Sam. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. And mind you, we have not talked about Stranger Things before this conversation. So I had no idea what she was going to say. And I love it. So it's great. So it's just a pleasure to have you here to talk with this, one of my ultimate favorite series ever. So thank you for being here. And thank all of you for tuning in and being with us. We are so grateful that you're here. And please share this podcast with a friend. We would love that. And remember to come back because we will be covering the finale. And keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.